So a couple weeks ago, I had a pretty crazy situation happen where I told a famous and influential YouTuber with over 10 million subscribers the word no. And here's what happened. So I got a phone call a couple weeks ago from a woman who told me that she was the associate producer for this famous YouTuber who had over 10 million subscribers. I looked him up, and she said that he had found me and was interested in doing a story on me based on the reviews they had found on Google. So they were 5-star. So I said, okay, well, this sounds like a good thing. Why not? So we scheduled a time for them to come to my office in South Jersey. They would come on a Monday at about 4:30. I had planned everything out and blocked my schedule to be available. And about 2 hours beforehand, they canceled due to an emergent film emergency or whatever. So I said, okay, things happen, let's reschedule. So we rescheduled again for a little bit later on the same day, same day. It was around the same time actually, for Wednesday, 2 days later. So I made the same scheduling. Made some arrangements with my schedule to be available. And 2 hours before, it was like Groundhog Day. They did it again. So what am I going to do now? So I'm starting to get a little bit of a red flag. Starting to think, well, maybe this guy's flaky. Like, what's the deal? So they said they would let me know. A few days later, we go forward. We kind of went back and forth with messages, but now the weekend comes and I don't hear anything, which I didn't expect to. And Monday morning now, they send me a message and say that so he's decided to change his format, and that he would like me to come to his office, his studio up in North Jersey. And I looked it up in a town I never heard of, and it was like an hour and a half one way. They said they would compensate me, but they need me the very next day. And, well, over the weekend, I had started to think, it sounds to me, now basically, I don't really know this guy, but I started to watch a few of his videos, and I got the impression that a couple things. The first thing I thought was, well, he reached out to me because he saw a benefit for him to have me on his show. It wasn't him offering me a benefit. Yeah, I could be seen by a lot more viewers, but his primary focus was it's going to get him more viewers, more income, more likes, whatever. So that was my first, red flag, the flakiness with the scheduling. And I'm thinking, is this guy just walking around like, ooh, next shiny thing, ooh, next shiny thing. Like, I'm just seeing somebody just running like a ping pong ball or like a pinball machine, bouncing back and forth to the next thing that he thinks is going to be the thing, right? So at this point, I get the message about, coming up the next day, and I decided, I said, I don't really care about your likes, your followers. I don't care if you say no to me at this point, but I'm drawing a boundary, and I will gladly do your show. However, you're going to have to either come to me like we agreed upon in the beginning, or we can Zoom, do like a video or a virtual visit or something to have me on the show. I sent that to his producer and received nothing in return. Well, that's not true. They said they'll let me know. A couple days go by, and it was now a week later. And in that time, I had then decided, I had been thinking about, creating videos for YouTube and TikTok and all these other content areas for a long time. I've been writing blogs and speaking and podcasting and doing all this stuff for years. So this was going to be the next place I wanted to go to, but nothing was really giving me the motivation to get there until this guy reached out and kind of gave me the jerk around a little bit. And I decided, you know what? Why don't I just create it myself? Why don't I just start creating my messages and share them myself? Like, I wanted to do it anyways. Why don't I just do it? So here we are. I started doing it. And I actually had sent a message to them. My final message was to thank them for giving me the inspiration and motivation to do this. I'm not angry. I don't hold any ill will to them. And just so happens that last night it struck me around 10 o'clock to look it up to see if he ever wound up doing the video. Well, it turns out he did do the video. But one of the other things, I had wondered if this was going to be one of those things where they tell me it's one thing and I get there and it's something else. Well, that's exactly what happened. He wound up doing a video that I was only going to be a part of the show on. It wasn't a show about me. It was a segment in a show about going to people that do jobs that some people view as scams. So he was going in to kind of see if I was a scam or not, which was something that I had a suspicion he might be doing anyways, because I started to think, based on his other videos, like, he's looking for reactions. He's looking for likes and clicks and all that other stuff. So I'm glad I didn't show up. because my spidey sense, my radar, whatever you want to call it, was going up pretty much from the beginning, and he just proved it more. So I watched the show last night that he did do, and he had a woman on there. He had a couple people on there that I feel like he kind of did a disservice to. He kind of embarrassed them a little bit. He put them clever editing, clever storytelling, whatever you want to call it, but I think he did them dirty a little bit. But he did say, when he had the psychic fortune teller lady on there, when she had told him that you kind of bounce from one thing to the other, he did say, and it confirmed what I had my suspicion, that he does bounce from one shiny, nice thing to the next. Because he's chasing the dollars, he's chasing the likes, the popularity, whatever. And that's his business. I'm not judging him for it. I get it. That's why he does it. And he's clearly successful with millions of subscribers. Hopefully I'll get there one day. But even if I don't, he gave me the motivation to tell my stories, to come and connect with you, to make a community, to talk about things that maybe other people don't talk about. I hope this resonated with you. And I really hope that we can connect. I'd love to hear your story about a time when your spidey sense, your antenna, your bat antenna, your radar, your intuition started going up, and maybe you drew a boundary. Maybe for the first time ever. For the first time ever, maybe you said no. Man, I'll tell you what, it was freeing. I've loved just the process of learning how to edit videos and to set up things I want to talk about and start planning for the future. It's helped me get motivated, give me some new inspiration. I've gotten a lot of assistance from a lot of help from a lot of people over the years to help me get to do the things that I love to do. And one of them was to create content. So I want to thank this guy. I don't want to share his name. I don't want to blow up his spot. But maybe one day he will have me on and we could talk about this, because his flakiness and his way he does things, I could have been bitter about it. I could have been upset. I did expend a lot of energy and was excited and shared about how, I'm going to be on this famous guy's channel. And in the past, I would have followed him to North Jersey or North Timbuktu if I had to. Now I just say, no, this isn't for me. Thank you. But thank you also for doing something for me. It wasn't you did it to me, you did it for me, and thank you. So I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear what times you've drawn a boundary, times you said no and it worked out so well, or maybe you're in the process of saying no, or maybe you want to build up the courage to say no. Let's talk about it. I hope to hear from you. Take care.